Hello, future mathematicians. Welcome to this exciting journey into the world of quadrilaterals, specifically focusing on trapeziums. Today, we'll unravel the mysteries of this fascinating four-sided figure, from its basic definition to the special properties of an isosceles trapezium. We'll explore this topic across 4 levels of depth: easy, medium, hard, and hardest, ensuring you build a strong foundation and master every concept. Let's begin. Ready to discover a quadrilateral with a unique twist? Let's dive into the basics of trapeziums and their special cousin, the isosceles trapezium. So, what exactly is a trapezium? Imagine a shape with 4 sides, but unlike a rectangle or square, only 2 of its sides run perfectly parallel to each other. These parallel sides are called the bases, while the other 2, which are not parallel, are known as the legs or non-parallel sides. Think of a bridge support or a flower pot, often they have a trapezoidal shape. This fundamental definition is key to understanding everything else. Now, let's talk about a special kind of trapezium, the isosceles trapezium. Just like an isosceles triangle has 2 equal sides, an isosceles trapezium has its 2 non-parallel sides equal in length. This equality brings along some cool properties. For instance, the angles along each parallel base are equal. Also, its diagonals, the lines connecting opposite corners, are always equal in length. These properties make it quite symmetrical and interesting to study. Time to test your understanding with some quick questions. Take a moment to define a trapezium in your own words. Then, consider a quadrilateral with 1 pair of parallel sides. What would you call it? Finally, if an isosceles trapezium has 1 non-parallel side of 7 centimeters, what's the length of the other? Pause and think, then check your answers. Let's deepen our understanding. We'll explore more intricate details and proofs related to trapeziums and isosceles trapeziums. Beyond the basic definition, trapeziums have specific angle properties. For any trapezium, the consecutive angles between a parallel side and a non-parallel side are supplementary, meaning they add up to 180 degrees. This is a direct consequence of parallel lines intersected by a transversal. For an isosceles trapezium, we can actually prove why its base angles are equal. By drawing perpendiculars from the vertices of the shorter base to the longer base, we form congruent right-angled triangles, which then establish the equality of the base angles. Another significant property of an isosceles trapezium is that its diagonals are equal. This isn't just a statement, it's a provable fact. We can demonstrate this using triangle congruence. By considering 2 triangles formed by the diagonals and the bases, and utilizing the equal non-parallel sides and equal base angles, we can prove these triangles are congruent. This congruence then directly implies that the diagonals must be of equal length, a very elegant geometric proof. Understanding these proofs is crucial. For instance, to prove equal base angles in an isosceles trapezium, we draw perpendiculars. This creates 2 right-angled triangles and a rectangle. By applying the RHS congruence criterion to the right triangles, we can show their corresponding angles are equal. Similarly, for equal diagonals, we use the SAS criterion on triangles formed by the diagonals, a non-parallel side, and a base. These methods highlight the power of geometric proofs in validating properties. Now, let's challenge ourselves with some medium-level questions. Can you find the missing angles in a trapezium given one angle? Explain why angles between parallel sides are supplementary. Try to calculate a missing side length given the perimeter of an isosceles trapezium. And can a trapezium ever have all 4 angles equal? Think critically and apply the properties we just discussed. Ready to connect trapeziums to the broader world of quadrilaterals and explore more advanced theorems? Let's go. It's important to precisely distinguish a trapezium from other quadrilaterals. While some broader definitions might include parallelograms as trapeziums, In CBSE Class 9, a trapezium typically implies exactly one pair of parallel sides. This distinction is vital for accurate classification. We'll also delve into a comprehensive list of isosceles trapezium properties, including its unique characteristic of always being a cyclic quadrilateral, meaning all its vertices can lie on a single circle. This property makes it quite special among quadrilaterals. A powerful concept in geometry is the midpoint theorem, and it has a fantastic application in trapeziums. The line segment connecting the midpoints of the non-parallel sides of a trapezium is called its midsegment or median. This midsegment possesses two remarkable properties. First, it is always parallel to the bases of the trapezium, and second, its length is exactly half the sum of the lengths of the two parallel bases. We will explore the proof of this theorem, which often involves constructing auxiliary lines to form parallelograms and triangles, allowing us to leverage the standard midpoint theorem. The proof of the midsegment theorem for trapeziums is a classic. One way involves extending one of the non-parallel sides and drawing a line through the midpoint of the other non-parallel side, parallel to one of the bases, to form congruent triangles. This allows us to establish the relationship between the midsegment and the bases. Another method involves creating a parallelogram by drawing a line parallel to a non-parallel side. Understanding these proofs enhances your problem-solving toolkit and deepens your appreciation for geometric logic. This theorem is incredibly useful for finding unknown lengths in trapezium problems. Time for some hard-level challenges. Differentiate clearly between a trapezium and a parallelogram. Can you prove the equality of diagonals in an isosceles trapezium using coordinate geometry? Calculate the midsegment length given the parallel sides. Prove that if base angles are equal, the non-parallel sides must be equal. And can a non-isosceles trapezium be cyclic? These questions require deeper analytical thinking and application of proofs. Let's push our boundaries. Prepare to explore the real-world applications, coordinate geometry depth, and advanced problem-solving techniques for trapeziums. The trapezium, or trapezoid, holds a significant place in the history of mathematics, dating back to ancient Greek geometry. Its name, derived from trapezion, meaning a small table, reflects its common appearance. Beyond theoretical geometry, trapeziums are fundamental in approximating areas in calculus, known as the trapezoidal rule, and are integral to various engineering and architectural designs. From the cross-sections of canals to the structural elements of bridges and buildings, the trapezoidal shape provides stability and efficiency. Applying coordinate geometry provides an elegant way to verify the properties of an isosceles trapezium. By strategically placing the vertices on a coordinate plane, for instance, with bases parallel to the x-axis, we can use distance and slope formulas to prove that the non-parallel sides are equal, the base angles are equal, and the diagonals are equal. This method offers a robust, algebraic approach to geometric proofs, complementing the traditional synthetic geometry methods and offering a powerful tool for complex problems. The area of a trapezium is a critically important concept, given by the formula half times the sum of parallel sides times the height. This formula is derived by decomposing the trapezium into simpler shapes, typically a rectangle and one or two triangles, and summing their individual areas. Advanced problems often involve finding the height using the Pythagorean theorem when the non-parallel sides and bases are known, or working backward from the area to find unknown dimensions. Understanding this formula is vital for real-world applications like calculating land areas or material quantities. Solving complex problems involving trapeziums often requires strategic thinking. Drawing auxiliary lines, such as lines parallel to non-parallel sides or perpendiculars from vertices, can transform a trapezium into simpler figures like parallelograms, rectangles, or triangles, making calculations easier. Furthermore, extending the non-parallel sides until they meet can form similar triangles, allowing for the use of ratio properties. trapeziums find practical applications in diverse fields, from architectural design elements to the cross-sectional shapes of various civil engineering structures, highlighting their real-world relevance and the importance of mastering their properties. Now, for the ultimate challenge. Let's tackle the first 5 hardest questions. Verify if a given set of coordinates forms an isosceles trapezium and calculate its diagonals. Find the area of a trapezium given all 4 side lengths. Determine the length of the shorter base in an isosceles trapezium using its midsegment of diagonals. Prove that a trapezium with equal diagonals must be isosceles. And finally, calculate the cost of plowing a trapezoidal field. These problems demand a strong grasp of all concepts. Continuing with our hardest challenges, here are 5 more questions to truly test your mastery. Prove the formula for the line segment joining the midpoints of the diagonals of a trapezium. In an isosceles trapezium, if non-parallel sides equal the shorter parallel side and base angles are 60 degrees, find a specific ratio. Calculate the area of a canal's trapezoidal cross-section. Given general coordinates for a trapezium, identify parallel sides and calculate the midsegment. And lastly, prove that if the diagonals of a trapezium divide each other proportionally, the trapezium is isosceles. Good luck! And that concludes our deep dive into trapeziums and isosceles trapeziums. We've covered everything from basic definitions and properties to advanced proofs, coordinate geometry applications, and real-world relevance. Remember, consistent practice is key to mastering these concepts. For more such engaging and comprehensive educational content, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous learning. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. See you in the next session.